Hi everybody, it's Ryan from Ryviews.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to survive in Minecraft. Now, I know that this game has been out for a very long time already, so I'm here getting the late bloomers, or late starters, late arrivals, whatever. Here to teach you some useful tips. So first, right off the bat, I always want to make sure you start with a bonus chest. That will be a very good help for you later, as far as making sure that you have some necessary supplies to get yourself started. There are some other game options, but if you're trying to get achievements or whatnot, you can't really change a lot of those, but you can always add the bonus chest. I also recommend usually playing easy if you're trying to do achievements. If you want to challenge yourself, of course, you can up the difficulty, but you can also change that later. I recommend doing easy. Peaceful's bad because then no monsters spawn, which means you miss out on a lot of opportunities for achievements and whatnot, so you want to do easy. Plus lots of good spawning things. If you're really super concerned, you could do peaceful for your first world, but in general, it's not really that big of a deal to have easy on. It takes a while for you to die, especially if you stay out of dark areas and caves early on, So, as soon as you spawn in the area, you're going to basically be alone and confused, which I guess is fine. Sometimes a chest is hard to find. Right now it was easy, so hooray for that. You open it up, and it has a lot of useful supplies for trees and eating and so forth. Carrots especially are good. Sometimes you can't find a nice village, so you might have to rely on a zombie to spawn something or whatnot. You can kill zombies, and they sometimes will drop carrots, but it's very rare. Now you can see here I'm in some snow right now. I'm going to go to the desert so I can see what the hell's going on. Deserts are also a great place to find villages, which are a great source of food and trading supplies. So depending on what you're looking for, if you're trying to get emeralds, that's always good. Of course, you're trying to get various other items. Let's say you're trying to get sugarcane. It's good for that. Also, good at night for trying to kill enemies. If you want to stay alive, it's hard for enemies to sneak up on you when you're in the sand. You have a lot of good visibility, and it's moderately difficult to get away from a skeleton if he sees you, but you can usually outrun them, so it's not too scary. First things first in Minecraft, before you worry about anything else, even food, is trying to make sure you have a shelter plan. It's good to have food lined out too, but you won't starve to death that fast. On easy, you'll never starve to death. It is in fact impossible to starve to death. You can starve down to like half a heart or whatever, but it's impossible to die from starvation on easy. And you can see there's some cows over there. Try not to fall into wells. That's a big deal sometimes. But I'm going to build a nice little house into this little mountain here, next to the sand. It'll be a nice little cozy fort. I would not recommend using wood early on. I would recommend using as much dirt as you can, primarily just because wood is sometimes difficult to find early on in the game without venturing too far, and you'll want to use it for kindling until you have a good source of flint coal. But that being said, I just realized I should build my house closer to some trees, so I'm going to go over here a little away from that desert so I have a good source of treeage. I know I do have some saplings, but it's good to have some pre-built trees too, because it's a lot of useful wood early on. So you'll save a lot of time and effort if you build yourself into an existing hill. You can use the pre-existing height for walls. That way you're not going to waste a bunch of time making your own walls. So I'm going to start building right here. And early on, you don't really need to make yourself a very nice house. Once you get some wood, of course, you can expand and be nicer about it. But just for survival and for shelter, you don't need something very extravagant. You need something basic and small enough for you to do business. Not destroy that one. So I usually recommend making things that are 3 tall, but 2 tall is once again fine for utilitarian purposes. So you also notice I didn't start with any torches. Sometimes there are torches around the starting chest. That did not happen this time. So let's go ahead and do something with this. Let's start crafting. I have a little bit of planks, but I'm going to put a little more, and I'm going to make a crafting table, which I'm going to place inside my little pre-hovel here. Hooray, I have a crafting table. Chests are also good. I should have grabbed that bonus chest early on. Didn't really think about that. And I'm also going to probably want some stone quickly. But first, I have to build myself a pickaxe. So I'm going to build myself a wooden pickaxe. And I don't have enough sticks to do anything else. Let's see. Ugh. Okay, sticks, and then I'm going to build myself an axe. Alright, so let's get some wood. I do recommend that you always adventure around with plenty of wood and plenty of food to survive. Once again, right now, just starting out, you're not going to really have enough food to really go very far. But just bear that in mind later on, and in further parts to this series. When you're spelunking or adventuring far away from your home, you want to be able to be self-sustaining. You want to have plenty of supplies to build tools and plenty of things to see in the dark and eat without starving. I also make it a good habit to replace all the trees that I kill, and you will get saplings drop frequently, so it's not really a big deal. Also, chopping down trees, good source of apples, which will then be a good source of cheap food for you. Very replenishable, very easy to use. Apples are not particularly common drop, but they will stave off hunger long enough when you're setting up your base camp. Alright, so now that you've gotten a little bit of wood, you want to go back over here and make yourself some charcoal to make some torches. So, first things first, I'm going to need to smelt myself something, which actually means I'm going to dig it down a little bit. I'll lower myself here. It helps if you ever lower yourself into the ground, that helps you, once again, falsely increase the walls, so that way suddenly they're higher up than they were before. I will eventually lower these two things. For right now, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Just make sure I have a staircase to it. I do also recommend not digging too deep in your own house, because you don't want to dig deep enough that you can spawn, enemies. But it's okay to dig a little bit, especially if you have stairs eventually, and I'll make this a much nicer house eventually at some point too. So let's clear a little bit of landing pad here. That works out. Alright, do I have enough to build a furnace? Yes, I do. So, furnace gets built. I just threw away some sticks, didn't mean to do that. Okay, then you want to put in a little bit of wood. Not very much wood. And a little bit more wood. Let's make some planks. Son of a bitch. It's been a while, folks. Okay, planks. That didn't work. Let's switch those around. Yes, sorry, you can burn planks. You can burn wood to get charcoal, but it's very inefficient and very stupid in general. So after early on in the game, it's extremely pointless to do and a huge waste of wood. But for right now, charcoal is pretty useful. But I am going to take out the rest of this wood once this is finished. So once you have a little bit of charcoal, I'm going to use that to make torches. 1 charcoal is 4 torches. Use them wisely. This early on in the game, the biggest deal is to light your house, so that way you don't go nuts during nighttime, because I have not found enough sheep to build myself a cot. And that's actually probably something I should do soon anyway. But let's make my house first, and then we'll probably end this video. So the important thing here, making sure you always leave yourself an exit strategy. So never dig yourself into a hole that you can't jump out of. And right now this is a pretty horrifying house, if I do say so myself, so I'm actually going to fill this back in after I get a little bit more of this stone. Once again, you do want a good source of stone, but you also want to not go nuts with having a house that's difficult to manage and navigate. So, once you have enough stone, I do recommend converting all your wood tools to stone tools very fast. Stone has got to be one of the most common resources in Minecraft, if not the most common resource. It is basically limitless, and for any practical purposes, you will never run out of stone. So I would always recommend switching to stone tools as soon as possible. They are more efficient and don't break as easily as wooden tools, and therefore you're able to also retain a lot more wood because you're not wasting it making wooden tools. So, wooden pickaxe, wooden axe, and possibly a wooden everything else, and also not wooden, stone. That's what I was talking about. Alright, and a sword for any kind of creepy critters. Now, one other thing you want to make sure you do early on, before you settle in for a nice nap or dig session during your first night, making sure you have a door. It is all fine and dandy to wall yourself in, and it's not a horrible strategy in general because zombies can actually break down doors, so that's kind of frightening and scary. But it's always good practice to have a door so that way you're not just living in a nondescript hole, especially if you're trying to get out at some point. So I would always recommend placing a door somewhere in an easy to find. And also, of course, making a roof. So we're going to deal with that right now. Take down some of these trees. Okay. I'm building a roof. Roofs are awesome. Okay, and walls. And more roof. See, that wasn't so hard. And now let's make a door. A door with all the ample wood I don't have. Let's see, more planks. And a door. Which actually makes 3 doors. I was afraid about that. It used to be a better, a worse rather, ratio. Man, I keep throwing shit away. Now it's much better for making doors. So, place a door. Fill in, god damn, I'm out of practice with Minecraft. Alright. Fill the rest in. And it's getting dark out, so I've built myself a little house, which is a nice little bunker for myself. And I'm ready to face the challenges tomorrow. Now, for your first night, if you have not found enough sheep to make a bed and sleep through it, I would highly recommend digging. It's a great way to explore a little bit of your surroundings. And on top of that, it's a great way to get a lot of stone stored away. You'll notice that I did make a chest for myself. That was not an accident. It's a great place to store random things, including cobblestone, for future use. It's very important to have plenty of cobblestone lying around for everyday purposes. I think next time I will talk about farming, as well as some basic kind of mining good practices. For right now, before you start mining out through the night, just remember, never fricking mine beneath you. Never mine right here, because then you're just going to fall through. I'll just explain right here, bam. What if there was lava beneath me? There could have been a hole, that could have been the only single spot, that could have fallen through and died. Never do that, it's stupid. I get passionate about that. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Visit www.ryviews.com for more content, and don't forget to tune into my next episode of How to Survive in Minecraft. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.